So this is going to be part of an ongoing series. It's not about bugs or significant additions. It's just going to be about tweaks, balances, and all the little things that can make a huge difference compared to the current implementation of a feature. It's not intended as a jab at CIG, but rather just my thoughts on how a feature can be turned into its best self with minimal changes required. Each video will dive into a different aspect of the game. For this first one, I'm going to be looking at loot. It's a fairly new mechanic added in 3.15, and it was a shame that it wasn't expanded upon with 3.16 despite its sudden ubiquity as part of many different gameplay loops. These can include med pens, CRYPTOKEYs, multi-tools and their attachments, particularly the tractor beam, drink and also food. It can be pretty annoying to have a crime stat but have nowhere anywhere near you that sells CRYPTOKEYs. For instance, it would make sense for emergency shelters to have medical items, water and rations, caves to have quick flares, field lights, microtech data centres could have comp board, mobilis casings, maybe a plushie. Hurston locations could have ready-up helmets and work gear, outposts with harvestables, ore and personal effects. Strange or silly colours of items should be reserved for loot and specialist shops. For instance, an RSI Odyssey helmet in pink should be a loot item. This would also make these shop displays a lot less garish. While this is already the case for the armour of security forces and cave bounties, bunker outlaws shouldn't logically all use the same weird blue and yellow armour set, as these would be worker party rebels in the Hurston area of operations, while Crusader area of operations has the Dusters, Ninetails, Nova Riders and Lowriders, etc. You've probably seen Hurston guards in Lawville walking around with Gallant rifles on their back, or the Microtech guards in New Babbage with Custodian SMGs. So why aren't these weapons prevalent for those factions out in the field? One slight issue with loot is that the boxes are reused assets already found in lots of places in the verse as set dressing. This makes knowing which boxes are actually loot a little tricky. The loot boxes present the perfect opportunity to reintroduce cutting tool gameplay by having certain boxes locked with a cuttable latch. This could potentially contain a higher tier of loot. While I don't expect all items to be found in loot containers, it would be nice for instance to have the full roster of ammo types in the loot table, not just a select few of them. A loot all option would make looting under fire a lot more viable. Looting undersuits brings all attached armour with them, which isn't ideal as no backpack is big enough for that. Looting to equip doesn't like core or leg armour or backpacks with items attached to them. Some additional locations that would be good for loot containers would be derelicts, Lawville shantytowns and landing pad rooftops.